Time to talk about something that I am divided on. No, not the fact that I'm on the run right now. If you're watching this video and this is your first introduction to this channel, I'm excited for you because you're really getting a window into the ethos of what we're about here. But it's not normally this. I'm just being tracked down by the authorities right now, and so we're on the laptop setup until further notice. But seriously, the controversial thing that I'm divided on: pineapple on pizza. Um, I personally think that it's quite good. The reason that I am divided on it, and I feel like this is definitely an understandable reason, the reason I am divided on pineapple on pizza is because saying you like it publicly causes you to have to deal with it. And I don't like it enough where I want to deal with that. I feel like people that actually might like pineapple on pizza don't even give it a try because it's judged so much. Or people that actually do, in my case, don't talk about it because it's not the first thing I'm going to order. I've enjoyed a pineapple on pizza, a Hawaiian pizza every once in a while. But it's not the first thing I'm checking off the list. That's obviously pepperoni. Spicy pepperoni, if you can get me some, but like white boy spicy, not actually spicy, all right? You need to turn that down a little bit. But that is it's something that I needed to get off my chest for a long time. And now that I have, I feel like we can talk about the Club World Cup, which is also something I'm divided on, actually, because I know that while the Club World Cup is going on, I'm going to be interested in it. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not going to be interested in it. It's going to be, at worst, what's the word I'm looking for here? At worst, it's going to be better than watching paint dry, right? At worst, it's going to be something to pass the time until we get the matches we actually care about. A point of interest, a curiosity is the word that I was looking for. The Club World Cup is going to be a curiosity, right? But FIFA wants it to be so much more than that. Brief lore dump. FIFA created this new revamped Club World Cup because they own, obviously, the big international tournament, but they don't own the biggest club tournament. They have owned the Club World Cup the whole time, but nobody cared about that. Everybody cares about the Champions League or maybe Libertadores, where it's the Champions League in South America. FIFA doesn't own those, right? CONMEBOL, which is South America, and UEFA, which is Europe, they own those club competitions. They reap the benefits. FIFA wants to create a tournament to basically capitalize on they want to create the biggest club tournament as well. And so they created this new Club World Cup situation that we are all now forced to deal with and live with and pretend to enjoy. Right. But part of this process of creating it is FIFA is taking a lot of money and throwing it at the Club World Cup to try and make it a big deal, which makes me like it less. I'm not going to lie. There's something in human nature where if you just announce that it's happening and you let kind of a grassroots movement tell everybody that it's important, at least the appearance of a grassroots movement create the importance around that tournament, I'm a lot more likely to be freaking interested in it. But if you've got FIFA coming in and saying, well, we're going to do $1 billion prize pool. Oh, look at this unbelievably, ridiculously large and gaudy trophy that we're going to, hand to Donald Trump in an effort to try and make the tournament look more cool and more appealing. Right? Doing all of these other things, compensating clubs just for showing up, right? Just making the Club World Cup. I think the least amount of money you can make is almost 10 million, where the biggest clubs are making a lot more than that just to show up to the tournament. All that sort of stuff. Prize money is great, right? But all of that sort of stuff makes me feel like it isn't important because they're trying so hard to make it important that there isn't a natural importance. There isn't a natural need for this. And all of this is happening before the actual point of this video, which is this headline from the Times. FIFA is so concerned about sluggish ticket sales for Club World Cup that it is offering fans a guaranteed opportunity to buy a ticket for 2026 World Cup if they buy 20 Club World Cup tickets first. One fan attending 20 matches would be a huge logistical operation. Obviously, the person that posted this added that. And this is not the first that we have heard about the Club World Cup struggling to sell tickets. And this isn't a fucking surprise. This shouldn't be a fucking surprise, right? There are going to be great matches at the Club World Cup. but there also aren't going to be a bunch of fans that want to watch Al Ali play Auckland City in the United States, right? Like there just aren't. Maybe the way to do the Club World Cup is once you get to the knockouts, it's all in one location. But before that, it's like a month-long group stage on, home matches and everything, or something like that. Like it's a prolonged sort of Champions League vibe. I don't know. But when you're taking these clubs that aren't Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, right, that aren't Club America, right, that aren't Pachuca, right, from Mexico, where they're going to get a ton of support in the United States, or freaking Seattle Sounders, who have a great MLS fan base. Fight and win, right? That's Seattle Sounders, right? They're going to travel well. They'll do well. A couple of big Brazilian clubs, right? They're going to be able to get some fans there, but there's a lot of teams that won't. Even Salzburg. Who's going to watch RB Salzburg, who managed to qualify out of Europe for this, by the way, based off of coefficient? Even though right now, and this is kind of the dumb part. Oh, let me hydrate here. It's kind of the dumb part of this tournament. Salzburg's not even the best team in Austria right now. They lost the Austrian league last year. Because of their coefficient over the last freaking 4 years, they get to go to the Club World Cup. Yeah, all right. But we need to focus on how particularly stupid this one promotion is, because what is the point? The terms and conditions, by the way, state you have to attend every match to get to buy a ticket to the World Cup final. And that's what it is. That's what it is. You still have to buy the ticket. You just get a guaranteed ticket. And also, attending 20 different Club World Cup matches. I mean, are we talking about somebody that just doesn't have a job? I mean, this would basically just be something I would do. Right? Am I the target audience for this promotion? Attending 20 individual matches. I mean, that's like 25% of the entire tournament. Probably more than that. I just don't feel like doing the math. It's a 32-team group stage into knockouts tournament from the round of 16. And you're telling me with a straight face that you're expecting somebody, in order to get a ticket that they then have to pay for the World Cup final, to attend 20, there's going to be maybe 2 people that do this. And one of them is going to be for content. And they're just going to, might as well get the ticket to the World Cup final that way. Here's what I don't understand. Here's what I really, really don't understand about this. There is no logical argument to doing this, because the bad press that you're going to get for doing this sort of announcement, like the bad coverage that you're going to get from people like me or other people, right? Just the general bad vibe, the emphasizing how few people care about this, continuously accidentally promoting sluggish ticket sales, which is what they're doing. It outweighs any potential gain from the 5 people that actually end up doing this. Like, what the fuck is the point? I mean, how many millions does FIFA spend on marketing for somebody to tell them the literal worst idea I've ever heard? And then you've got the Times writing an article about it, which is behind a paywall for me, but shout out to the Times, go make your money. Right? Apparently it gets worse too. Also looked at the 2-match pack for Bayern in Auckland and Cincinnati, but you don't get to choose the World Cup games you get a ticket to. So not only is it you need to buy 20 Club World Cup tickets, you get those tickets given to you for any match. The United States is the size of a continent. All right? That's where the Club World Cup is being hosted. You're going to get 1 match in California, 1 match in New Jersey, 1 match in Dubuque, 1 match in Dallas. And you're expected to zip around to go to all those? I mean, what is the point of this video, really? Every single bit of this is stupid. From the reason the Club World Cup is coming into existence in the first place, to the incredible amount of fixture congestion that it's going to add that I didn't even talk about. Because if you're playing in this in the World Cup the summer after, you basically just play for like 3 straight years. Season, summer, season, summer, season. Then break, maybe. And then you just retire because you're Pedri with an extra year under your belt and your legs fall off. There's nothing else there. every single bit of this is stupid, and this announcement is there as well. I am curious, though, with as much as they've talked about how bad the ticket sales are, I am curious to see what the attendance is like for the big matches. Are we going to see sold out 90,000 seat U.S. sporting stadiums for Chelsea v. Botafogo in the quarterfinal of the Club World Cup? Is that what we're going to get? I think the best case scenario for FIFA is that you have some appallingly empty stadiums in the group stage, and that at least by the time you get to the quarterfinal, you're packing stadiums and the vibe is better. That's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is you're playing the Club World Cup final in a stadium with a significant number of empty seats. I think it's possible. I think it's possible.